Hi everyone. So I have been inspired yet again to record a video, but this one is actually going to be for all of my fellow imposters out there, or maybe even former imposters, right? And I'm referring to imposter syndrome, not actual imposters. I was having a conversation with Aussie and I was like, I need to record this. I need to put this out there because this is something that is going to, I think, solve some problems that we have out there with things like social media. So, the reason why I want to talk to all of my fellow imposter syndrome sufferers is the idea of being good role models and the idea of being a mentor to not just our youth, but also people who are going on journeys that we have in some way walked before, right? All of us have different and unique experiences. And when we think about the idea of representation, I think one of the things that causes imposter syndrome is we unintentionally, of course, convince ourselves that we need to reach everybody and everyone needs to resonate with us. But that is a false story. There are so many people who are out there spreading things like hate, causing our youth to bully each other, causing adults to bully each other, or shame, and they're the ones who think that they're great role models, right? And so I feel like it's time for those of us who just feel inadequate or feel like our stories are not significant enough. I just want to remind everyone that the best thing that you can do is be you, be your authentic self. Today, and in a handful of my videos, I like to wear my PJs even though it's 12:30 in the afternoon. Like I have I have prior experience being in the financial industry, and that in many ways has caused me to want to wear the most comfortable clothes. I do my makeup because it brings me joy, not just because I want to, so-called look good on the camera. Didn't even brush my hair. I just used my finger comb. But, I, for so many years, had to present myself in a certain way to be taken, not even half as seriously as I wanted to, probably like a third. And I know that a lot of people talk about this where depending on who you are presented as to the world, there are certain identities and certain intersections that we hold that we unfortunately have to prove ourselves a lot more than our, say, cis white male counterparts. So I say all that because I want to share that part of my story for anyone who feels like they might need permission to be comfortable. I don't have any meetings today, so I'm going to wear my pajamas. And sometimes when I'm in between meetings, I throw this on and I just change right before the meeting. And sometimes I don't, to be honest. So really, it's just being our authentic selves, and anyone who is seeking that representation or that story to help validate their experience or help them feel empowered, it's so important to share that and not be afraid that you are going to be judged, because even in those moments of being judged, and as someone who's been more in the media lately, believe me, I know what it's like to feel judged. When you can remind yourself that anyone who is judging you is just not aligned with your story, that's really all it is. And that doesn't mean that you're not meant to put your content out there. That doesn't mean that you're not meant to be yourself and your authentic self. The more that you step into and embrace that authenticity and who you are, you will eventually start to attract more and more people that make you feel really good, help make you feel really seen, and that imposter syndrome will lessen over time, and then before you know it, you're just going to be fully stepping into that energy of mentoring, being a great role model, and loving who you are and allowing others to do the same because of your vulnerability and your courage. So I hope this helps anyone who is needing to hear that your stories are so valid and that your stories and your experiences aren't for nothing. So thank you all, and I'll see you again next time.